Hey, what's going on, you little buttwort? Have you ever wondered what the true cost of getting a jerry rig is? Like a full one, like a real one, other than like the cost of your eternal soul and your individuality? Let's check it out. Let's get over here. Let's check it out, okay? Cello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Jerry Rig, I guess this is. As always, I am Davey. Welcome to the Toby and Davey channel. If you've never been here before, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified when we drop all the videos. You know, we do a lot of live streams. We do a lot of videos. This episode is brought to you by me and the Golden Road Guitar Course. If you want to learn the easiest way to navigate the fretboard through chord inversions, chord shapes, and what I call the whole half method of soloing, boom, that's the way to do it. It allows you to be expressive without being bogged down by a bunch of rules.
Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Nobody likes rules. You know what I mean? Ugh. Tell me about it. All right, so today what we're doing is we are looking at what it actually costs to get everything that Jerry had, and what we're gonna try to keep it like era appropriate. We're gonna try to keep things to like a certain time period, right? Because we want it to be accurate, I guess, if that's what you're going for, right? Because to me, this is one of those things of like, this is an undertaking. This has to be like your special interest. You know what I mean? You got to be a little bit on the spectrum, right? Like we all are, to a degree of some sort or another. You know, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum while we're doing this, but I will be going, wow, that's expensive. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. So when you're looking at the entire like jerry rig type, just all of it, it kind of starts with the amps, right? And I don't even know, we've done a Jerry guitar video, so I don't think that I'm going to add a Jerry guitar into this because there's so many different ways that you could do a Jerry guitar. But if you are trying to go as accurate as possible, like I'm talking like Jerry Tone Store Waldo, like having all of the stuff, that's what we're doing. So to start, it would be the amp. You want the amp, right? So the first thing we're going to look at is probably the most important thing for the tone is the Fender Twin. That's kind of where it all started. That's kind of where this tone all started, was the Fender Twin. And it was a blackface to start with. They don't call them that anymore. I wonder why. So you still want to find something era appropriate. So you've got like an 81 blackface for 700. So I've got like a list here and like a running tally of what things are going to cost. So we want to go, we don't want a 94. We want old. We got a 75, 76 silver face. Now, he did play a silver, like he would have two heads right next to each other. I'll put a picture of that up over there. He would have the two heads next to each other, so if one went out, he could just switch over to the other one. Let's see. A 66. Boom. 66 blackface with the... Oh, nice. This is just set up to be a Jerry guitar. So that this is local pickup only. It's got $1,000 price drop, but we're gonna put it down as $2,500. Like, and I'm trying to be conservative, but also this stuff fluctuates so much. Like it is up and down like our economy. You know what I mean, man? It is just wackadoodle. So $2,500 for the Fender Twin blackface. Let's see, what else do we have here? If you know, your silver faces are gonna be cheaper, but there's just something about like okay, so for now we're just gonna say conservatively like $2,500 for that. So the next thing is gonna be the Macintosh power amp, right? So shout out Owsley Stanley for putting that on everybody. So when we go over to eBay, because there wasn't anything right now, so this is what you get when you search Macintosh Power Amp on Reverb. A lot of this we're going to be doing Reverb. You can, like, your mileage is going to vary. You know what I mean? You can go over to eBay and find these things. You can go to Reverb. It's just, for me, sometimes Reverb is just a little bit more consolidated in what you can find. And you know, like it feels like you're able to, like, speak to people more. You can work out deals on Reverb a little bit better, I think. But this is all you're getting on Reverb right now. Usually they've got a few, but they're gone. So what I did was I went over to eBay and I checked out there. So we've got one MC 2300, which was the one, for $27,900 with $350 shipping. And then we've got another one for $2,500 with $250 shipping. Let's see. That's kind of what we're working with here. You've got $37,500 from Japan and $395 shipping. So almost $400 shipping on that. This is kind of where a bulk of it goes, because these aren't the easiest to find anymore, especially with like the boom of like the Jerry tone becoming such a thing. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do now is we are going to, I guess we're going to go with the cheapest one, right? So we're going to go with $2,500 plus $200 shipping. So we're looking at like $2,800 for that. So we're going to say $2,700. The next thing I've got on the list is now we're going to get into the effects, right? So Jerry used a bunch of different effects throughout the years, and he also used them like sparingly. He wasn't using a ton at a time until you got into like the later 70s into the 80s and 90s. Then it was just, you know, whatever the new stuff was. But what we're going to start with is we're going to start with the color sound wah. This is like the wah you hear on playing in the band, right? So this is like 72, 3, all that jazz. So you've got a 70s color sound wah for $238 right up front. You've got a 290, 475. I think we're probably going to go with the 230. So we're going to say 230 on the color sound wah. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next effect, which is these are a little out of order. So we've got the Boss Heavy Metal 2. And this is like one of the classic overdrives that he used. But again, this is like 80s. Let's see. You're looking at like maybe 140. I want an older one. If we're going to do it, you know what I mean? Let's get it as old as we possibly can. So like 284. So there's a 1984 for 145. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with like 140. Okay. And now we've got the MXR Phase 100, but it's got to be the script. It's got to be the one with the script on it. It's got to be the one with the cursive, because that's the one that he used. It's got to be this one. It's got to be the $750 one or the $395 one that you can't even really tell. That's fine, I think. I think that's okay. Let's see. What would be... Okay, we've got a new $395. Okay, cool. This is all doable. You know, this is all... We're not in a recession. Let's see. I mean, I guess, man, we're going to have to go with... What was the cheapest one? What do we see? There's 320, 395. We're going to go 320 on that one. Okie dokie. Now, the next one we're going to do is the MXR Distortion Plus, but it's also going to be the script one. So we've got 300, 239. That looks... that doesn't look right. I don't think that's... I mean, I guess so. It looks too clean. That's too clean. I don't believe that. Is that like new old stock? If so, go snatch these up for $239. Wow. I don't believe that at all. 336. Okay, so we're probably going to go with like... Let's go 300. Let's just say conservatively 300. Because again, all this stuff changes all the time. The price is dictated by the consumer and the market. So they're worth what you'll pay for them. Let's see here. Boss Octaver. Okay, the OC2. Okay, so we're looking at like 270, 300, 238. Oh, let's go. Okay, so we've got one that says 275. Let's go with, I mean, it's in good shape, but there's a 238. There's $22 shipping. Let's go. Let's call it. Let's call it like 250. Yeah, we're trying to be conservative, but also like again, you never know. MXR analog delay. Next, we got to go with one of these older boys, 250. That's the 76. I think that's our winner for two. And they want local pickup though. I don't. No. 76 to 84 analog delay. There's this one for 300. 250. Okay. With free shipping. Boom. That's it. 250. All right, the next one we have is the Boss OD2, the Overdrive 2. And so I think that, yes, more than likely this is going to be like the 89 one. Because it's going to be the oldest one we can get, 88 to 95. No. I want the 1989, $50. Overdrive. Ooh. Oh, so I think it's... I don't... which one is it? Is it Overdrive Distortion? No, it's the OS2. Okay. So we're looking at probably around like... like $50. All right, so... next one we've got... is the Mutron 3, the big boy. 892. Not terrible. 721. Not bad, guys. The price has gone down slightly. You don't want to get the Has. Don't get a Has. Apparently these are terrible, I guess. So 850, 721. That's wonderful. That's a steal right there. But you don't get a Has. I've heard. Don't do that. They're bad. Let's see. Wouldn't trust this one because it doesn't have the label on it. It doesn't have like. Let's see. All right, I think we're gonna have to go with. Let's say like 800 because like this 721 isn't gonna last long. So we're gonna do 800, and then we've got the Mutron octave device. Now we're in like the Mutron jam, right? So now we're looking at like 799, 520. That's 520 with free shipping. I think that's the one. We're gonna say 520. But what I need to do now is I need to look up the biphase, Mutron biphase. One of like the old big boys, not like what you did in college. It's not the biphase we're talking about. Ooh, wow. That's expensive. Wow, you're looking at like $2,000 easy. So we're just gonna say $2,000, okay? Wow. Wow. All right, the next one that we're going to do is the Boss OD1, the Overdrive 1. It's pretty expensive, okay. So 300. So I mean, we're probably going to have to say, because we want like an old one. So I mean, I think the best route is to like say like, because some of them are like $1,000. I don't understand that. 800, 300. There's such a disparity between these numbers. This is absurd. Let's say 300. I think you can get one for 300. All right. Next and last of the pedals is the Boss EQ. Now we want a vintage one. We want an old one. How old can we get? How vintage can we get? The oldest I'm seeing is like what is the one I see? 97. Is that when they came? No. let's just say like $100. They're like $100. You don't necessarily need an old one for that. Because that'll suck. It'll be broken. Next is like, what is all this gonna run through? It's gonna run through speakers. And if you're a Jerry nerd, there's only a handful of speakers that you're allowed to use. Do you understand? And that starts with the JBL E120s. These are heavy ass Alnico speakers. They were very popular. They're still like they're so popular now. The price of these has just like steadily gone up with like the advent of like Dead & Co. and everything like that. So if you want to get a pair of them, okay, so there's $700 right here for a pair. The others, so you've got one of two. So this guy's selling them individually for $360 a piece. And then this one right here you can get for $700. So I think the best bet we can say is like $600 to $700, but we're probably gonna have to go $700 because that's crazy. $700 for a pair of speakers, and then you've got the JBL D120s. These are also speakers that you can use. Let's see, a pair of them for $950. Let's see, a pair of them for $950 right here. And then let's see, is there another pair in here? No. So that's probably the best you're gonna get. Yeah, so probably about maybe 900, 1,000. So let's just say 900. So almost 1,000 for those. And then the other option is a JBL K120. And you can get a pair of K120s for $300. They look okay. Nope. Okay. All right. That's not very good. Yeah, about $350 a piece. So maybe probably like 800, dude. 700 to 800 with shipping and everything. So we'll probably say 800. And then what you're going to want is a chunk of wood to put those speakers in. Okay, so that's a cabinet, and what we would call that is like a hard trucker style cabinet, because that's like Steve Parrish. He made the company that started, or he went in on the company. I think he owns it. Hard Truckers Cabinets, where they make those cabinets that Jerry used. So, but if you don't have the money for that, you can find approximations on Reverb here. There's like $200 for this one, $189 for this one. These other ones are just this is kind of what we're talking about here, is this guy, right? This is kind of what we're looking at. This is what you want, kind of. And it's not bad. It's a little blah, blah, blah. It's a little slapdash, but this is kind of close to the vibe if you were wanting to go like a budget friendly. But that's not what we're doing here. We're gonna go over to the Hard Truckers website, where they sell the cabinets, and with speakers it'll run you like $1,300. It'll run you $1,300 with speakers. I think without speakers it'll probably be like $700 for the cabinet, I think. So we're just going to say $700 for the cabinets. And there's a bunch of other people that you can hit up, like my buddy Crazy Legs Cabs out of Jersey. He makes great cabinets, and he does them. I don't necessarily know his prices. I should ask him, or you should ask him. You should hit him up. You should hit him up on Instagram. But for Hard Truckers, we're going to say about $700. And so that cinches us in on what we need. This is the thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to crunch some numbers. All right, let me get my handy dandy calculator, because your boy is not good at simple math. We're gonna punch in these numbers. Okay, we're gonna do Macintosh Power Amp, $2,700. Fender Blackface Twin Amp, it's $2,500. Color Sound Wah, $230. Boss Heavy Metal 2, we're looking at $140. MXR Phase 100 script, that's about $300. MXR Distortion Plus script, that's about $320. Boss Octaver coming in at $250. MXR Analog Delay coming in at $250. Wait, those were both $250. Okie dokie. Next, we have the Boss OD2 coming in at $50. That's not terrible. The price on that one has gone down. Next, we are going to get the Mutron 3. That is $800. Mutron Octave Divider, that is $500. The Biphase is $2,000. Boss OD1 coming in at $300. Last for the pedals, we have the EQ pedal coming in at $100. I mean, and that's small potatoes compared to everything else. You know what I'm saying? All right, now we've got our JBL speakers. So let's just say that you want to go for the E120s. Those are bog standard. That is just, you want the Jerry speakers. People are talking about the JBL E120s for the most part. So we're going to say that's $700 for those. The cabinet itself is probably going to be around, $500 to $700, but we'll say $700. And so our total for a Jerry rig, if you want everything that Jerry had, and this isn't including a guitar, you got to spend a chunk on that too. We are looking at $11,840 for that setup with what I found right now. All of that is subject to change. That could drop, it could shoot up to the stars. It could lift Apollo's skirt. So I think that you can get, again, man, like this is the thing. If it's your special interest, go for it. But do not feel like you have to do this. Like if this is like your thing, and this is what you want to do, and it's fun for you to like go and seek these things out like a little truffle pig, you can do that. Do it. If that's what you want to spend your time and your money on, absolutely. But if you're trying to play music, if you're just trying to do the thing, there's so many other ways to peel a banana. I think that you should, more than anything, try to find your own voice in it. Now, I play the music, but I also intentionally am not trying to be a copy. I am intentionally, like, there are things that I do with my tone and my playing where I want to evoke Jerry, right? Evoke that tone, that sound, but I also want it to be like when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's Davey. You know what I mean? Like, and so if you're going to play this music or any kind of music, I think that you should focus in on like what makes it you instead of trying to get the thing that made somebody else them. Does that make sense? Now, again, like there's some of this stuff like I have approximations of these things, right? Except for the MXR delay. So I have an MXR delay. It's not the old one. It's not the vintage one, but that's like the thing I have. I don't even use like a regular Mutron. I use something called a Proton. And I think it sounds better than anything else that's out. I think it sounds better than anything else out there right now, unless it is a vintage Mutron 3. So yeah, that's really where I'm coming from with this. Is like I want you guys to understand like this stuff isn't for everybody. Not everybody can afford this. Not everybody can do this. So don't feel bad about that. Because it's like it's the way that this stuff goes is that like this is for like collectors. This is for people that are have the resources to make this happen. You need to work within your means, right? Of course, save up for stuff. If there's like anything specific on here that you're like, I have to have that, absolutely. But I think the most important thing is to like find your individuality within it. Instead of trying to just have the stuff to do the thing, because that just having that stuff doesn't do it. Just having the stuff that made the sounds doesn't do it. It's these guys. It's your fingies. It's your heart, right? So that's what makes that sound like that. That's why you like Jerry. It's not because of the stuff he had. It's because of how he used it and how he played. So don't forget that, and don't compare yourself, right? We all get lost in that. We all get lost in comparing ourselves to other people, especially with social media. We look at the posturing that other people do. We look at the thing that they put in front of everybody, and you compare yourself to that instead of understanding that these are just regular people. They're doing the same thing you're doing. They have the same insecurities. They have the same things going on in their life to varying degrees that you do. They're just people. There's nobody that's not a person on this planet. If you're a person, you're a fucking person. You're a human being. You are no more special and no more important than anyone else. Okay? So remember that when you're watching things online and you're feeling like you have to have these certain things. You may want it, and that's cool. If you want it, get it, right? But other than that, I think what's more important than that is carving out your own spot with your own sound. Use it as inspiration. Use the gear in a different way, whatever. But the true cost of owning a jerry rig, I think, is your individuality. So think about that, and I love you. Also, go join the Patreon. Go hit up merch sites. Do the stuff. You can donate directly to us right here. I love you guys. Thank you for watching a video. Thank you for being here for us and for me and for everything that we do. It's very much appreciated. We've got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. If you have a jerry rig and you would like to see it featured in a video, send it to this email address. Okay? And we will do that video shortly. I've been getting submissions and I want more. So send them in and we will talk soon, okay? Buy the Golden Road Guitar Course. We'll see you soon. Mwah.